Well, a lot's happened since we've done a news breakdown like this, and we've got to talk about Riccardo Calafiori because that deal has been delayed, it is stalling, it's taking ages, and there are lots of conflicting reports trying to explain what's going on. We'll talk about that, we'll talk about Nico Williams and a supposed big proposal coming from Arsenal, which, I know, you don't want to get your hopes up, but Arsenal may be doing what they can to try and tempt the player to join. We'll discuss that, what's being discussed there, and everything else around a new kit, transfers, midfielders, the lot. Let's go into it, starting with the Calafiori updates, because I want to hold my hands up right now to anyone watching this who has followed a lot of my content, whether it be here, via the live streams, news updates, AFTV, whatever it might be. I've actually been saying with a lot of chest, a lot of confidence, that I felt he'd be in by the time the tour came around, and I imagine the players are leaving for the tour this Sunday, if not Monday at the latest. That's not going to happen, and I apologise for that. I'm going to give myself credit for the Sesko thing, predicting he'd sign a new deal with Leipzig, and for seeing us not signing that deal with him. But yeah, I thought Calafiori would be in sooner. It's taking longer than I think we all expected and all hoped, and I'm going to show you why. Here's what Ed Aarons had to say in The Guardian. He said that Arsenal yet to seal Riccardo Calafiori deal as Bologna hold out for more of the £42 million to be paid up front. Now, we know that these days deals, there is a fee that is paid, but there are incentives, bonuses, add-ons, all sorts of things are included in deals, and apparently Bologna want more upfront from Arsenal. It sounds like, though, they are happy with the £42 million fee, or at least that's kind of what Fabrizio Romano had been suggesting. He says that Bologna asked for Jakub Kiwior during the talks with Arsenal for Riccardo Calafiori, but the Polish defender is currently not keen on the move. Calafiori keeps waiting for Arsenal. Kiwior can leave on loan with a mandatory buy clause, as reported in June, he said. So, Bologna wanted Kiwior to be a part of it. Apparently, Arsenal are happy for him to be a part of it, but Kiwior doesn't want that move. You can kind of understand. I know Bologna are playing Champions League football, but the likes of AC Milan, Juventus are said to be interested in Jakub Kiwior as well. So he doesn't want to make that move happen, and we got to do something on the fee front. Now, a couple more things that have come out from Romano that I haven't shown you in that particular tweet there are that apparently the two clubs are actually quite happy with the £42 million fee. No one's gone as far as to say that they've agreed the fee because the structure of the deal matters. You know, they haven't agreed a deal till all those missing, all those little pieces have been arranged and agreed, but it sounds like £42 million is the fee that they're both going to come to. He also said, Romano, that these rumours going around that essentially it's about Bologna and Basel agreeing what sell-on percentage Basel are going to get. Are they going to get £50 million of this fee? Or not £50 million, 50% of the fee that Arsenal pay to Bologna. Are they going to get that? Are Bologna looking to knock that down at all and make sure that they can retain more of the fee? Romano has said that that's absolutely not true. They're going to get 50% of whatever is agreed. So there you go. Maybe that's partly why Kiwior was being explored as part of the deal, to chop off the cash. I wouldn't know how that would work. Let me know in the comment section if you do know. Di Marzio comes in with something a little bit more encouraging though for Arsenal fans. I do think it's important we read this. He said that at the moment Arsenal's priority is to find an agreement with Bologna. Let's fly ahead, where he says that after the Euros his value, or Calafiori's value, went up quite significantly after his performances. Now, he does say that Arsenal will need to spend 1 or 2 million euros more, but not 10 million euros more, so the pace of the deal is on standby, but with the will to arrive at an agreement in the next few days. Bologna are trying to get more possible money, but they can't afford to keep the player, so the move is only a matter of time. That's quite encouraging, if I may say. I mean, he's basically saying, look, they're playing hardball, both clubs. They haven't agreed on anything yet, but they probably will, because Bologna need this too. It's not just Arsenal who want the player. Bologna actually need this deal to get done. I'm not sure why that is. Is it a financial thing? I'm not really sure. But I take his word for it, Di Marzio. He's actually been pretty spot on with a lot of this deal. Although I feel like a lot of Italian press went a bit too early saying that this deal was close. It's quite clearly come out in the last week and a half, really. This deal wasn't as close as perhaps people were saying, but I'm confident it might come to a conclusion. Let's move on to Nico Williams, what's being said there, because this tweet did the rounds from Arsenal Archive, saying that Arsenal were/are due to speak to Nico Williams this week to see if the club can persuade him to join the Gunners. The rumour is Arsenal prepared a Rice-like presentation, and he at Team News and Ticks. Now, we know Team News and Ticks has been very reliable. Lots of Arsenal information, not just transfer stuff. He has a Patreon where people get his sort of exclusive information from, and he's been on Charles Watts' channel to give his thoughts and insight on what's going on. So he's clearly sort of respected in this space when it comes to Arsenal information. But Arsenal Archives apparently slightly misquoted him. And this is what was said according to Lloyd, who wanted to share this, the exact words of Team News and Ticks. He says, "I'd heard rumours we were due to speak to Nico Williams this week to see if there is any chance of persuading him to join us. The rumour was we had prepared a rice-like presentation. These rumours weren't from a top source, but I spoke to someone at the club who reiterated we absolutely love him and will take a chance if we get it. So although I can't confirm the meeting, I know for a fact we are still chasing him." So what went viral from the Arsenal Archives tweet has been slightly dumbed down in saying, look, maybe we have, maybe there is this rice-like presentation. If you don't know what I mean by that or what Team News and Ticks means by that, Arsenal went big on the Declan Rice presentation to convince him that that was the big move for him. Declan Rice was set up for a massive move to either Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool at one point were interested, but Arsenal got him, and they had to go big on selling the project. The feeling is that Nico Williams wants Barcelona want him, and that eventually they're going to hash out a deal unless Arsenal can do something about it, and a big presentation like what they did for Declan Rice might be what gets it over the line. Let's see. Team News and Ticks isn't saying this is definitely happening. He's just providing information with context as to how believable it possibly is. For what it's worth, I believe him that Arsenal certainly really like Nico Williams, and if something is doable, they'll do it. Is it doable though? I feel like he's destined for Barcelona. Let's go into the midfield and what's happening there, because James Ben just said that from his understanding, Thomas Partey's situation is that he intends to stay for the final year of his contract, and that while everyone's been talking about Saudi Arabia, there's been no conversation with PIF so far and no offers from any other Saudi clubs. He said that via the Charles Watts YouTube channel, AFC Stuff, bringing us the news and quotes there. But if there's no interest in Thomas Partey, he's going to stay. It's as simple as that. I don't really have much more to add to that. Does it sort of mean that it's going to affect our ability to bring in a midfielder though? Because this is what a lot of people are saying. It might take Partey to leave for another midfielder to come in and us get that addition and strengthening to our midfield that we're hoping for next season. But Kai Kainak has come out and said that Arsenal did reject a bid of 25 million or north of 25 million for Smith Rowe. Fulham are considering returning with heftier fee, but Merino could replace ESR. That gets interesting too, because I've always felt that in the squad, when you talk 10s, you've got Ødegaard, Smith Rowe, Vieira, and I guess you could play Havertz there. That's where he kind of grew up playing his football for Leverkusen. Now, you kind of think we're a little bit top heavy. You could even play Trossard there. If a Smith Rowe goes, actually adding a more natural 8 Merino, I think makes the most sense. So I think what Kai is saying there sounds right. That if you sort of sell Smith Rowe for 40 million and you bring in a Merino for 25 million, while I'm not sure Merino is 100% a better player than Smith Rowe, I haven't seen Smith Rowe play for a long time, I definitely think Merino is much more what this current squad needs, and so it feels like sensible business. While you've got Merino Rice for the 8, Partey Jorginho for the 6, Vieira Ødegaard for the 10. 6 players for 3 positions. Sounds pretty balanced to me. Let's see what happens there. He also says that Nketiah is open to moving to Marseille, but the Nico Williams stuff looks unlikely. Now, Belen Bolli also came in and said that Atletico Madrid's interest in Mikel Merino is the most advanced of the 3 clubs. Arteta also like him, but Barcelona would want him if they can move on Frenkie de Jong. You'll all remember what I said in my dream transfer window video. De Jong would be the guy. Let's see if that becomes possible. Couple last bits of news as well. Arsenal released a new away kit. Here are pictures of it. Gabriel Jesus, there's Russo and Rice, and of course Raya, Martinelli and Trossard. Hit the pause button if you want to have a good look at it, but I'm sure you've all seen it before with some of the training gear as well, trackies and whatnot. Yeah, look, I quite like it. That's really all I've got to say to it. I quite like it. I think sometimes it'll look better as a kit. I find, for example, last year's one, remember the weird wavy luminescent green one? Like with that one, I think it looked better as a kit than it did as just a standalone shirt. But there we go. Maybe this will be the same. But yeah, it's not bad. I quite like it, to be fair. It's better than last year's. Now, the final thing I want to say to you all is that we are bringing so much more content here to the Goonerverse. Firstly, thank you to everyone who watched the channel update on Monday, where I sort of told you about the big rebrand and stuff that we've done. We now are officially the Goonerverse, and not the James B channel. Apologies, some people didn't like that, but some of you sent a lot of love for the new name and the new brand, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We are doing live streams as well. They are for me to chat to all of you a bit more directly. When there's been news that's accumulated throughout the day, big things have been happening, sometimes you just got to go live and talk about it and try and make sense of it all live with your community. So we'll be doing those a lot more often. You'll have seen those, but I also want to show you that we are doing shorts, and these shorts are simply there for me to give you instant reaction. Wherever I am, I can quickly whip out my phone, put this together and give you a reaction to the news, because Can't always get to my computer immediately, a camera, do a live stream, whatever it might be. So if you want my instant reaction to things, yes, I'm on Twitter and things like that, but this is actually where I'm going to react to most things. It is via shorts, and then we will build on them via the live streams and these research videos as well to give you the absolute truth as to what's going on, all the rumours and everything that does the rounds. So everyone, please subscribe to the Goonerverse if you're interested in this kind of content. And if you missed the podcast on Wednesday, we had the amazing Elliot from Arsenal Vision and lead judges joined me and Sharoy to talk lots of things, but more than anything, we talked about Merino, and I found it a fascinating conversation. So go check that out on podcast platforms too, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner there. And yeah, we'll catch you all very, very soon. Big thanks.